I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rika, Kudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge all the Akyam who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, Slakia. Drinking a little water because I've had this, those of you who watch the videos, my videos, I've had this cold, this little summer flu. So my throat's itchy, drinking a little water with some lemon in it tonight. And through the Spirit, I'm going to be in Matthew 18. This is the brother Shabai from the GMS Denver camp. I'm going to start at 18:1. It says, "At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto them, and he set them in the very midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, you shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven." All right, so this Yahushua is not saying you got to be like a little child, you got to turn yourself into a child, right? Convert into a child. No, it's because when you're a child and you're brought up, like we're brought up in captivity here in Babylon. So we came up as children in all these false doctrines. So now that's what he's talking about. You need to change up, just like we did as children. We came up in captivity and learned all these pagan doctrines. Well, now we in the coming to truth. Now we got to reset ourselves. This is how you convert. You don't become like a child. He wasn't talking about, you got to be like a kid, a little child. No, because a little child is not going to be able to teach anybody. A child is a metaphor for you, just like when we were children, we learned what we learned from the beginning of us being in our youth. Well, now we're in the youth when it comes to this knowledge and this truth. Okay? "Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven." So, like a child who's learning, like if you had a son or a daughter and you were taking them to a church or whatever, they're going to learn whatever customs they learn in that church. It's like, it's easier to teach a child than it is to teach an adult, because the adult are stuck on their ways, and most times the adults are wicked ways, right? So they're stuck on those ways. But he's saying, become like the child, humble like the child, because the child's not going to sit there and resist, when you teach them. If you teach a child wickedness, he's going to believe in wickedness. If you teach a child righteousness, he's going to believe righteousness. So that's how it is with us, We have to become like children again, And I've said it in the past, when, what am I right now? Maybe 7 or 8 years old in this truth and this knowledge, which that would be just a child, an 8-year-old child, right? So that's a humbling thing when you think of it like that. You might think you have all this great wisdom, but yet you're only an 8-year-old child in this truth. See? Verse 5. "And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me." Right, so always talking about the prophets and the elect. The elect are going to receive the names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai through the prophets, which the prophets were the children, right? We're the babes in the truth, babes in knowledge. Remember, we're the ones who Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has given the knowledge and understanding to, right? Matthew 11:25. "And at that time, Yahushua answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and the prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes." So he hid this truth. Yahweh hid the truth and the knowledge from the wise and the prudent, who's considered the wise and the prudent? It would be these Edomites who are in these churches, or in these, anyone really in these heathen churches, teaching false doctrines, right? Yahweh's hid the knowledge, the true knowledge, from those so-called wise men in Esau's kingdom. And he's given it unto babes, which is, again, the little ones. All right? Matthew 18. I'll read 5 again. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. Right, so now here we are, the children, and it's a metaphor because we're children in the knowledge, in the truth. Doesn't mean we're actual children, but it means according to this knowledge, hey, like I said, I'm only 8 years old. But if you receive one of the Lord's children, who are his sons, which that word really in the Hebrew would be son, which received this little son in my name receiveth me, then guess what? That's the elect. They're gonna have that ability to receive the sons of Yahweh, receive the teachings of the sons of Yahweh. All right. Whosoever, or I'm sorry, I'm on 6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Then this is a heavy verse, because, the Lord's prophets, his servants, he has care for his elect, the scriptures say. He has care for his elect, and it starts out with his prophets. So you really don't want to be walking around offending the Lord's true men, the Lord's true prophets. And Lord's will, I'm in that number, Lord willing. But it's a huge offense unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai if you offend one of his little ones, which means one of his sons, one of his men that will believe in him, right? So I always say it, man. I've said it in the past. The men of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, the 144,000 prophets, we're these vessels moving around the earth, and we're going to either do one or two things when we cross paths with people. We're going to bless them, or we're going to curse them. And they're going to be cursed because of how they react. It's not about how we react. It's about how they react to what we do. Because we have the spirit to teach the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. If that offends you, then guess what? You're cursing yourself. And the Lord crossed your path with one of his prophets. Or if you vice versa, we're going to bless you if you cross paths with one of the Lord's 144,000. And I'm going to go, I went into it last night. I'm going to get into it again. But Revelation 14:3 says, and when they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the 4 beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. All right, so those 144,000 that learned the song, and we're teaching the lyrics, we're singing that song, we're teaching it to the elect, we're teaching it to the 2/3, the heathen, Everyone's got to hear it, but only the remnant, only the elect are going to be blessed by this word. But if you're Yahweh has set you on the opposite side, as an enemy, an adversary, then guess what? You're going to get cursed. And everything's spiritual. Let's say you get the finger thrown at you in traffic, or somebody tries to cut you off, or road raging you, and people do that shit, I always think about it like, oh, this motherfucker just cursed himself today, or this bitch just cursed herself by acting a fool. And it was ultimately Yahweh who put that person in your path, and they were just brought in your path just to be cursed. You see? Because Yahweh, he has care, as it is written, he hath care for his elect, and how much more for his prophets. Let me grab that. It's in the Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 6. Wait, that's not it. Hold on, that ain't it. But I'll read that though, because that one works. As gold in the furnace hath he tried them, and received them as a burnt offering. And in the time of their visitation they shall shine, and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. And that's kind of what I was going into, because, okay, first off, the elect, the prophets are tried as gold in the furnace, right? We're tried like that gold in the furnace. When you clean up gold, when you like with a jeweler, and they want to make the gold fancy and shiny, what do to take off the dross? They'll burn it in a fire, burn it in the furnace, and it burns off all the imperfections, keeping the precious element, which is that gold. So that's what the men are likened unto, is like gold. And then in verse 7 it says, and in the time of their visitation they shall shine. And that's what we're doing right now. And this is the time of our visitation. We're shining, not because we're some special men, but because the word, the spirit that Yahweh put on us, makes us shine. All right, and it says, and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. So like I was saying, we run to and fro. We're moving around this earth, and we're either going to bless you or curse you through the spirit. And it's really not even us. It's just Yahweh. He's the one who directs all the spirits, all the people. But it's like spark among the stubble. So that spark among the stubble, you're going to be, watch, here's this, I'll read 8. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. See that? That's plain. We're going to judge the nations. The 144,000, the men of Yahweh Hashem Yashar, are going to be the judges of the earth. All right? What was Tupac saying? Only God can judge me. Nope. Tupac never read this verse. All right? And before we were in this knowledge and this truth, we were over there believing Tupac, saying only God can judge me. But that's not true. Yahweh puts the spirit on his men, and his men are going to, you're going to be judged through the spirit, through his men. All right? And we can go to other verses, which I'm not going to do right now, that proves that there's judges on the earth, that the spiritual men are judging the earth right now as we speak. All right? Let's see. Okay. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. There you go. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him, for grace and mercy is to his saints, and he hath care for his elect. See that? So he had grace and mercy to his saints, man. And he cares for the elect. Let me see. So grace, it means finesse. These are similar words to grace. Elegance, stylish, poise, finesse. Manners, flow, fluidity of movement. Remember I told you we're moving as we move through this earth. We have, Yahweh uses us as vessels to curse or bless people. It says, and he hath care for his elect. All right, that's a beautiful verse, man. Making the point of what I was trying to say in Matthew. Breaking down Matthew 18. Let's go back to Matthew 18. All right, verse 6. So talking about his men. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. See that? You'd be better off tying a big-ass rock around your neck and then jumping in the sea, you see, than to offend one of the Lord's elect, or especially his prophets, his saints. Verse 7, woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be of that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. Right. Meaning destruction. Woe means destruction. Destruction to that man who offends. Verse 8, wherefore if thy hand or thy foot offended thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. And this is going into a little bit of a different meaning, but it's not talking about, cut your hand off. If you sin with your right hand, cut it off. No, it's really because the whole brotherhood is known as a body, right? We're a body together. So if one of the brothers is offensive, or he can't get right, or he's fucking up, then that's when it says, hey, cut off that brother. Cut off the hand. Maybe that brother operates as the hand. There's one brother operates as the heart. One brother operates as the legs. One brother, and then it's all parabolically, metaphorically speaking. But if it's need be, you need to cut off one of the members, right? Like when you get your hand cut off, or your finger cut off, or arm cut off, or leg cut off, they call it dismemberment. And a body of a church, you have members, so you dismember that person or that brother if that's what it takes. So it's not talking about chopping off your hand and that's where you can go to the kingdom with just one hand. No, that ain't what it's talking about. See, the Bible is full of metaphors and parables, parabolically speaking, and the only ones who can break this down are his prophets. And we know that because now that we're out that pagan Christianity, the majority of us were in pagan Christianity or Catholicism or some bullshit, and we were never really given the spiritual eye to break down these parables correctly. But now that the Lord has had mercy on us, he's brought us into the marvelous light, and now we're able to discern, and he's given us, if the Spirit's working with you, you're going to understand the parables and you'll be able to break them down. Verse 9, and if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with one eye rather than having 2 eyes, to be cast into the hellfire. And again, members of the body, It's not talking about going in the kingdom looking like Fetty Wap. That ain't what it's talking about. Verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. See, so Yahweh is telling you, hey, if you despise one of these little ones, stop it. I mean, if you despise one of the saints, if you despise one of the prophets, you better stop that. All right, because these are his. Hey, he. Let me get this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 7. Let's see. Might be in the beginning of this. Shit. Hold on. He loves those that dwell with wisdom. KJV. Alright. Okay, there it is. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 25. I knew it was in there somewhere. It's 28. I don't know why 25 popped up. It says, "For the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom." So who dwells with the true wisdom? Who's breaking down these scriptures for you? You know, it's the Lord's saints, the prophets. All right? This is the true wisdom. So who do you have to, you know, and it ain't trying to make ourselves, you know, it's not because we're arrogant or we're prideful, but it is what it is. You know, like I say in my earlier videos, we didn't ask to be the prophets. We never woke up and said, you know what, I want to be a prophet. No, but the Lord Yahweh, he gives every man his own gift, right? He might give one man a gift of, he has ability of, he's a carpenter, he has ability to build things, or he's a mechanic, he's good with, you know, cars, or he gives one man you know, everybody has their own gift. So you can't hate on the prophets just because our gift is to love the wisdom and to you know, we become philosophers, right? You can't hate on, like me, I can't hate on a mechanic. If I gotta get my car fixed, I'm not gonna be like jealous or envious because this dude knows how to fix a car better than I do. Well, it's the same thing with the philosophers, with the prophets, the saints. You can't hate on the saints just because the Lord's given us this marvelous light. He's given us this wisdom. He's given us the spirit to love the truth, right? So don't be so, you know, don't be a hater. Don't be so narrow-minded. And we're not trying to, you know, build ourselves up. It's just what it is. It is what it is, like they say. Like the mechanic, you know, I would, if I was getting a car fixed, I wouldn't sit there and try to tell the mechanic how to fix the car, right? So don't sit here and try to debate the prophets or try to, you know, put salt and feel salty because we are able to break these scriptures down. See, but it says the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. That's who the Most High loves, more than the mechanic, more than the builder, more than the you know, the businessman, more than the, you know, he loves his men that the wisdom dwells with. That's who Yahweh Shai prays for in John 17. He prayed for his prophets, his elect, the ones that Yahweh gave him, the men that Yahweh gave him. All right? So don't feel some type of way just because his prophets are breaking the scriptures down. This is our gift. All right? Matthew 25 is 18. Let's say Matthew 18 and 11. It says, "For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost." It's Yahweh Shai is the Son of Man. Verse 12, "How think ye, if a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave the 99, and goeth into the mountains, and seeketh that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than the 99 which went not astray." Right. So you see that? And that's true, you know? That's true. That actually happened to me today because I had a pair of earbuds, right? And I lost them. So I waited a couple days. They didn't pop up. So I went and got another pair. And then the other ones popped up. And I was rejoicing at those earbuds that I lost more than, more than the ones that I already had bought, the second pair that I bought. See? Verse 14. "Even so, it is not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish." Right. This is the spirit too, right here. It says in verse 13, And so it's not the spirit. This is not the spirit that Yahweh doesn't want his little ones to perish. He doesn't want his prophets to fall out. You know. And we just had a situation here in the Denver camp where we sat down with a brother and had it was a council, because the brother, he wasn't doing no wickedness, but he kind of slipped up a little bit. So it's the spirit that I'm reading this tonight, because I didn't plan on reading this, and all of a sudden here it is. It's kind of making sense, tying in with what happened with the brother in our own camp. But verse 15, it says, "Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established." See that? And that's exactly what we did tonight in that council with the brother. So it was all delegated throughout the order of the ministry. The elders was telling us, hey, well, they told our the head of our camp, hey, let's take the brothers under you, the 2 brothers under you, and talk to the brother. And that's what we did tonight. So that's the spirit that I'm reading this, because I wasn't planning on going in on this, and all of a sudden this is the Lord reestablishing what we just did today. We literally did that, what the verse 16 says. "But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee 1 or 2 or more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established." It says, "And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican." Right, so if the brother didn't listen to the council today, then we go as far as to looking at him like a heathen or a publican, which that's a tax collector, right? Which I believe this brother, he's sincere, and I don't believe that he's going to be looked at as a heathen in the near future, right, for his mishaps. But everything's spiritual, man, because like I said, I wasn't going in on this lesson right here, and now it's just kind of re-justifying the council we just had with the brother earlier today. Verse 18, "Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." Like, meaning pretty much like, hey, the way you judge things here is going to be the way you're judged in the kingdom. "Again, I say unto you that if 2 of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven." And that's beautiful. "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them." Then came Peter to him and said, "Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him till 7 times? And Yahushua saith unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 77 times. All right. So that's, 7 is a complete number, but he's saying that, you gotta, if your brothers ask for forgiveness, and check this out, that's a lot of, a complete number of times to forgive your brother, man. And that's beautiful that I'm reading this, because like I said, we just had counsel. I think it was the first time in the ministry that I was asked, well, maybe a couple other times, but for, to be part of the council. And, this is something beautiful to be reading right after what we went through earlier today. So, I'm going to go ahead and close out on that. I just wanted to go in on my lesson for the night. But I hope the lesson was edifying. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rikah, Kodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also want to acknowledge the Akyam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And shalom to the elect.